Brian Tramel, RynoJB, Rollin Into Mempho.
All right. We're at 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is STSPod.Club production. I'm BT and sitting over there. Over here. Yes, there he is. Terrence Ward. How the hell are you, Terrence?
I'm good. I am digging that intro, by the way. That new vignette, or I shouldn't say vignette, that new theme song.
We love it. We went out of our way. We did a little bit, almost like Handsome Jimmy. The first one was. This is kind of the same lyrics, but then I went to K-Toomer and said, "Here's what." I talked to the guy for about 3 minutes. I said, "This is what I want. I want a little Motown, Memphis kind of feel to it." That's all I said, Terrence. That's absolutely all I said. Use the same lyrics because I really like the lyrics. Blah blah blah. And he did it. Just awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
Very talented. Happy Mania weekend, by the way. This is a big weekend for fans like me and you.
Yeah, it's a big wrestling weekend. There's not a shortage of wrestling to be found anywhere across the country.
I know as we're talking right now, I was going through Twitter and it looked like, see, this tells you how connected I am with WWE now, but it looked like they were doing the NXT show very early in the day, and then there's all kinds of stuff on Fight Network, and I was all, I don't follow WWE every week, but when it comes to pay-per-views, I always watch them, so I'm kind of excited about, I always get excited about WrestleMania. We used to do big gatherings, but I like watching everything, and we do a podcast next week. It'll be the 10 moments from WrestleMania, and I still love watching WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people who don't watch wrestling all that often need to understand this is like our Super Bowl. It doesn't matter what promotion you like to watch or what company you like to watch. WrestleMania is our Super Bowl.
Yes, very much so. I feel it that way. Speaking of, why don't we just do this, Dave & Buster's today and tomorrow? They'll give you a free game card. You can go in and you can watch it for free. Tell them Terrence, Dustin, and BT sent you to Dave & Buster's WrestleMania. If you want a big crowd and watch with the big crowd, go for it. We're going to do our show today like we always do. It's hits, misses, MVP. What do you look forward to the most, either next week or in the future? And we'll also do the must-see for the week. All right, Terrence, I'm going to start with you. What's your hits?
Yeah, I'm glad you're breaking it up into bullet points for me. My ADD brain functions a whole lot better. Let's talk about hits. Really good show. Booker T, very well received there in the Wrestle Center. It was interesting being there live at the show. Rhino was there along with me and in the crowd, and as you probably saw numerous times on television. But man, the crowd just went nuts. Even during the VIP meet and greet, Booker T really helped just kind of elevate the crowd's response that day for the television tapings. And by the way, Will Allday, huge hit. Love the fact that Will Allday is there for the television tapings. He'll be competing in a match next week, I believe, on the second round of tapings for the Booker T appearance. I think there's going to be some surprises in store for that show as well. Cam Cole is really good on the microphone, and it's evident that these are two of his top students. That Booker T
very much so
down in Houston. A lot of time and effort have been put into those two. I worked with Will Allday at a few shows down in Texas and Louisiana, and behind the scenes, super cool guy to work with. One of the most professional I've been around. Good to see Cassandra Golden back. Huge hit. I love Cassandra Golden in the ring. I hope one day she'll be sporting that Memphis Wrestling Women's Championship gold around her waist to add more to the Golden persona. Love the new ring mat. That nice little blue is not overly done, but it helps bring out the colors and the gear.
I agree. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
So a lot of them wear white boots or black boots, and some have different designs, so it really helps that pop. Brandon's mic skills with the Young Goats. Holy cow. I was really impressed. Brandon and I talk frequently before shows, backstage and around the ring, and I know he's got a great voice, but he commanded presence by talking to that mic, to that camera. He was talking to you at home, made that eye-to-eye connection, and I loved that. Mike Anthony. We only got to see a VTR, a video clip of him talking about his return coming up. I know that I will probably get some bad remarks from the Gun Show, but I love the Gun Show. But Mike Anthony, I'd love to see him with a championship run. What that would be so unpredictable as to what it would be like with him as champion. It would be really, really awesome to see, or terrifying, either one.
I agree. Mike Anthony, I've said this, but it seems like he's been on a roll for the longest. All right, let me give you my hits. I'll go with the Booker T, the very first scene of the show, and it made Memphis Wrestling very special. It reminds me of way back when Ric Flair stepped on the Channel 5 Memphis Wrestling and went against Jerry Lawler. That's the way it felt to me, that, hey, we're going to put a stamp of approval. This Memphis Wrestling is awesome. DDT was crying after the match. The reason I gave this a hit is I want to see where this goes. That's the kind of the Young Goats and Country Rock, solid match there. I like those guys. I like both of those guys. The Brandon interview, Terrence, doing a babyface manager is not the easiest thing. I don't know if you've ever done it, but I've had to do it a couple of times, and it's really not fun. He is a pro. He's done 2 or 3 interviews so far. He is so good on the mic, and it's almost to the point when I'm thinking about the future. If Brandon ever turns against the Goats, at least we got another great heel manager because he's so good at it. We mentioned this right before we went on, but you didn't have it as one of your hits. It's one of my hits because Elijah, my favorite referee, not because he does the STS Pod theme song. Okay, maybe so. My favorite referee, Elijah, man, come on.
With a barbecue sauce.
Barbecue all over your shirt. Here's a rule about professional wrestling. Guys, if they talk about something, there's something going to happen with it. So there you go. I don't know nothing about it, what they're doing, but just it should be pretty fun. I thought Vicious and Mikey had a really good chemistry, had a solid match. And somebody else really good on the mic and is not always one of my favorites. I give him more hell than I give him praise. It was Cross this week.
Yeah.
That was a good promo. Martin, really good in the ring. Martin's trying a bunch of new stuff, and it comes off really solid. But I'm going to end it with my hits of the week, too. Mike Anthony's promo was a huge hit for me. And me and you both have been fans of Mike for a long time. And to see him in this stage of his career doing what he's doing, it makes me proud, but it's also he's hit. He's a hit every week that he gets on the mic or is in the ring. Yeah, all right, absolutely. Man. Yes, love Mike. What about misses? You have anything that's a miss for you?
I have a couple, and it's not. We can oftentimes be our own worst critics. Especially those who are working the show and actually helping with the production and whatnot. The Diana Taylor promotional video was a little whitewashed. Like the iris was open just a little too much. It may have been just a filter that was added.
Here, I'm going to agree with you, but I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Look at me. Say that again. That again, Terrence.
Right.
Say it again.
The brightness was turned way too up.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
The camera guys got to be more present, and that's the thing. It is a training facility as well, so a lot of these guys and gals that are coming in there, they're training, they're learning. So these are just more technical things you and I probably would see more than the most average viewer. But those camera guys got to make sure that they're not in the shots. Those 2 people in that ring are the stars of that match, and sometimes it may add a little bit of a distraction, not big, but just a little. The house mic audio was too high, and I know that it's kind of an issue we've been working with, trying to get it formulated just right. Dustin and I meet usually before every show and try to make sure that we're all good and set to go. But I think on the next set of tapings that you'll see following the Booker T appearances, we are leveled out. We are back to normal, which is very refreshing. Rhino was on TV. That was a miss. No.
Yes, it was.
Last 2 floor cams are a little shaky, like getting those audience views, and that was just a rib, Rhino. Getting those fan views or kind of spinning around trying to get certain shots. Gotta be the Hollywood Jimmy shot, for example, by the desk was so shaky. And I would
I
have
didn't
loved to
even
have seen a
notice
little
that.
bit more
It's
of a.
shaky. Every time Jimmy comes on cam, it gets shaky, though, you know.
Could be him walking. And not facing the hard cam. My goodness, that hard cam is the television audience. It's great to acknowledge the fans in attendance, and you need to do that, to respect the ones who've shown up in person. But that end shot should have been you facing that camera, hand up in the air or whatever. If it's the end of your match, end of your segment,
Did you notice Ray took Cassandra and turned her around?
Yes.
He actually was doing it. I thought that was awesome.
Very good job there.
Very good job with that. Yeah, I noticed that. All right, so my misses, I'm going to go with the promos backstage because I didn't really notice the lighting or anything. What I really noticed is I want something on the wall. I want it to say Memphis Wrestling behind you. I want it to say something. I mean, you can put a sponsor back there. The wall with, and for some reason, on all the interviews, I concentrated on some kind of knot that was in the blue painting. I have no idea how I was looking at that blue knot, but I was thinking to myself after that, we needed a, Memphis Wrestling or a sponsor back there. Also, see, did I have anything else what was up with the Young Goats gear? Is this their new gear or did they forget their gear? It looked like he was wearing jeans. The other guy looked like he was wearing sweats. They both had tennis shoes on. Maybe someday I'll bring them on and ask them, what happened to your gear? Maybe the posse stole it, whatever.
That's a possibility.
I didn't like the look. Just put it that way. That was my only misses. Real quick, today and tomorrow, Mania, you can watch it at Dave & Buster's. Also, we had our April 1st show. It's our 4th annual April 1st show yesterday. We also had a record store. And if you are a Patreon member, and if you're not subscribed, we did Shooting Star number 2. He talked about the Boogeyman. So really good, interesting story. And Terrence, you were there probably. And so you was firsthand on that one. Very good story. Subscribe, $5, guys. All right, who was your MVP for the week?
So MVP for me is Uncle Mikey. I am loving the direction that Mikey is taking. I think that, and we'll see in the next couple of weeks, not going to spoil anything for you, but Uncle Mikey, in my opinion, continues to evolve, continues to grow on the fans and get them behind him. And I want to see Uncle Mikey on AEW. I want to see him on an AEW dark match. I want to see him get that opportunity because he's earning it every single week. He is earning it and making sure he gives it his all.
I can't say a bad thing about the guy. I love the character. He's really good at worker in the ring. I'm giving my MVP this week, though, to Memphis Muscle. I love the name. I love what they're doing. We talked about this a little bit, but me and Dusty did. But it's almost like it doesn't matter whether they're a babyface or whether they're a heel. They're going after the title, and the guys that they put Brett against, Mike Anthony, Austin Lane, Big Swole. I mean, at any time of the day, you think these guys can beat Brett Michaels. And I love the finish of the match, the way they set up both of the finishing moves. And so I'm giving it to my MVP for the week is Memphis Muscle. All right. I love the names. We just start coming up with names. Dustin's good about that. So what do you look forward to either next week or the coming weeks?
So two things I actually am looking forward to. The Cam Cole Will All Day match. I am ready and raring to see that match. But I also want to see Justin Cole taking on Brett Michaels for a title match. I know they tagged, but there is a level of respect, like you said, between those two competitors that they team when necessary. But I think Justin Cole is stepping up and realizing that he can carry the company on his shoulders as well. So seeing a friendly match, I say friendly, a good competitive match between those two, I'm really, really looking forward to because it's going to be good.
I did not get and I've said this a couple of times since we got back, but Justin Cole, I did not get him until I saw him live. You see wrestlers on television, you're like, why are they over? Why is the crowd saying that? I don't get him. Man, he's got a presence. He just comes off as a star. But what I'm looking forward to is, did you allude to a little bit, is the thing with Mikey, it keeps us guessing. And I would like to go back and see how long this story has been going on, but it's one of those things is The Skimmer's now going to turn. Is Mikey going to finally be a babyface? He's already a babyface, but is he going to be always? Is he going to leave the Skimmerhorns? Or him and the Skimmerhorns going to tag and win the 6-man? To me, that keeps me guessing and won't me come back. That's the big deal with that. All right, bringing us up to the last category here. Must see. What is your must see for the week, Terrence Ward?
Got to be Uncle Mikey, Van Vicious. That match was incredible. Like that, in my opinion, that's Van's best match so far on Memphis Wrestling, and I loved the strategic match that it was. It was very technical, seamless. Not a lot of misses in that match. Very entertaining overall.
I'll go with you. That's my must see. You're talking about guys that are just getting better and better and better. We had talked about Martin, and I think Van Vicious is one of those guys who maybe the first set of tapings he was, but now when he comes out, he's entertaining. He's always been entertaining, but not only entertaining is that his skills are just he's working more in the ring, and he's in the ring with a guy like Mikey, who I think might be able to have a good match with me or you. That's the way I feel about Mikey. He's so good at what he does, and he just comes up with the inventive stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what goes on if we see more of Van Vicious against Mikey or all those other guys. But, guys, it's a must-see for the week. Terrence, I want to thank you very much for joining us this week for shooting the shiznits, rolling into Mempho. Hopefully, JB will be back. He is at Mania this week, so you never know.
Jealous.
He might get kidnapped in Mania. I actually did text my buddy Lance and Eric, who do Dynamite with me sometimes. I told them, thank you for not dancing on television like my other co-host does all the time. So there you go. We've had JB on Raw dancing, and now we had him on Memphis Wrestling dancing. So JB, man, we need to talk. All right, we'll talk to him next week about that, guys. Thanks for joining us. Same bat time, same bat channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there, and as everyone knows, I love my mama.